Very good morning, everybody. This is Master Tura. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We have a lovely story to tell you guys, because this lovely gentleman, when we entered for the driving test center, basically half an hour before the test, we got the news Tura's wife entered to the labor. And we were 2 hours away from Birmingham. But now we done the Plus training, and we thought we are going to explain how did you manage your nerve, how did you manage to concentrate under those circumstances.
Good to see you all, guys. So this has been a challenge. Definitely, it was probably the hardest exam in my life. So yeah, it was a very stressful situation.
I've been in this industry 16 years, never had this scenario.
Yeah, it's just brutal. The timing was crazy. My friends were also really kind of surprised that I passed first try. So they were like, oh wow, that's
not easy.
That's
not
rare.
easy.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't know how it worked, but I got lucky, I think. But
you were very good. Look, if you could manage your nerves, I think we don't have any extra pressure, which is the biggest moment of your life, we should be able to manage our nerves. I talked to my Anita when you made the first inquiry. She said to me, there was a guy who said to me on the phone, are you crazy for this price? You need to explain to me. You need to put it down in bullet points. Why are you so expensive? So that's how we started. But I'll let you talk about your scenario.
First point, which is very important, is that reviews don't lie. So that was really good to see, because I actually found Zsolt through some reviews on Google, and this is why like this kind of videos and reviews are really important. So you share your experience, you show them, what have you been through.
Some insights of how it works. Mm-hmm.
So I was lucky to actually find you, Zsolt, so I really appreciate that. He's very experienced, very skilled, excellent, communications, very punctual. So that is very, very important stuff. For me also, what was surprising, I would say, was the timing itself. So I felt like at some point I was like, oh, this is taking too long. I'm so slow learner. I'm like, I wouldn't expect, I kind of disappointed on myself, like, oh, why am I picking it so late and stuff. But don't let that bring you down, because I think everybody has their own pace of learning, and that's important to follow that. So don't rush it. Don't let your kind of friends and family kind of push you saying, oh, shame you a little bit, saying, oh, but you're so slow. It took me quite a bit of time to kind of get into it, kind of feel comfortable behind the wheel. So take your time and practice. Also had bad days and good days of driving, so don't let that down if you don't make mistakes at some point. Take your sleep, make sure you eat something. That's yes. Really it was helpful. I usually don't eat breakfast, but Zsolt kind of pushed me a bit, like, oh, eat a banana, eat something in the morning.
Something before the lesson, exactly.
Practical thing for me was talking to the examiner, try to break the ice, try to kind of, he's a person, so his judgment, it might be kind of a bit shaky. If you don't have a kind of good start with them, they might be more, let's say, biased, stuff like that. So you just try to build good communication.
And why I'm smiling now, because the examiner asks you, what would you doing? What is your job? What would you do today? How would you spend your day, etc., etc. And I told you before we entered, look, be honest, say the examiner, I shouldn't be here today because my wife is in labor, so I should be with her. We're not making up this one, obviously. So the examiner knew me very well, and then he knew we're not going to lie. And then you said to the examiner, and the examiner was, what? And we started to laughing in the car, and then he asked, are you serious? And then, look, that started very well. So it worked out. If you're honest, if you're explaining to the examiner your situation, it doesn't make any difference. They're not passing you, your wife is in labor, but at least they feel we are human. Yeah. So that was really, really useful. Just one thing back to the learning. We've done altogether 6 mock tests.
Yes.
And all of them brought out different issues, different scenarios. So what do you think about the mock tests?
Yeah, they're very important. I think they're for me, they were the critical thing. When you normally drive in the lesson, you don't really, you have your support, right? You always help, you always kind of give the instructions, give the directions, all of that. Yeah, tips and stuff.
Helps, advice.
At the mock test, everything is gone, so you're all on your own. Yeah,
exactly. So you need to do the mock test like a real test. Yes.
And every time you get and also you feel the judgment in a way, you feel that your mistakes will be judged in a completely different way. You didn't expect, this would be actually a fail, it wouldn't be just a warning.
Yes.
So that's kind of gives you the reality of it. So it's a
and
reality check.
How to behave, how to please the examiner, because it's a very, very different scenario.
Absolutely. So do as many as you can. Try to different scenarios. Again, that's one of my advice actually. Try different environments, different time. Different traffic conditions, all of that. So if you do, the more you do, the more kind of you are more prepared, right? So
Exactly, because look, by that time you are a perfect driver, you know everything, you have the skills, you have the knowledge, but entering in different interactions, that brings out how we're responding to them, and that matters. So that's very, very important to drive and practice as much as possible to get more and more interaction situation when you're learning from.
Yeah, and one more thing, like for me, what really clicked was you have to manage your speed and you have to anticipate as much as you can. So that will make you a good driver, really. Like you have to look at all the signs, as many as you can. So always scan and try to manage your speed. Like don't try to kind of go to the limit of the speed limit, but just kind of, base it on the situation that you're in and your reaction time. So don't rush, just take your time, make sure that you're in the, in safety. So
when we done the planning anticipation lesson on high street, and I explained to you everything, how I look at the situation, what I'm looking for, what kind of things are taking into account. You said, that's crazy, I can't do that, I can't pay attention to so many things. But of course, it's a skill, you need to learn it, and you need to be trained by the person who is sitting here.
Indeed.
And after that, you became a very, very good driver, because basically that changes your driving style, it changes for you for better, for good.
Indeed, yeah. And I like that it's kind of a gradual process. Like Zsolt doesn't put you kind of in a situation where you have to, like, from the lesson one, like, to look at the mirrors and do everything else. It's a gradual process. He builds on it. So once you get confident doing, let's say, controlling the car, making sure that, you're staying in your lane and all of that, then he gradually builds the skills. So he adds, which is, it's like a modular approach, which is
not overwhelming you, because if you would, then you wouldn't really learn.
Yeah, you would be overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. So
on the test. Yes, the exam we started very well. With a good mood.
It was very good. And then kind of I had no kind of serious marks or anything dangerous or anything like that.
Only 3 minors.
Yeah, 3 minors.
Yes.
But it was also like I kind of I think I zoned out for a moment. Again, my situation was a bit tricky, but
of course, we
I have
had
an
a fun
excuse.
with the examiner. We can imagine how much pressure you
had. It was a bit much, but there was a 20 sign that I kind of didn't notice. So that was one of the minors, and luckily that was a minor. I thought I failed.
Go too fast.
I wasn't too fast, and then I saw the sign on the road, on the lane, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a 20 zone, and I talked to him like, oh, it's a 20 zone. I have to like kind of follow 20 sign. So he kind of marked it as a minor, which was very lucky of me, I think. So I think that was a bit of a bias for him. Like he understood my situation a bit, so that was good.
And then you get 1 minor, you adjusted at the bay parking because you came out and then you went back again, so that's only on a minor. And then you stop once in front of the driveway. When it's asking you to stop at a safe place, you need to choose, and then you parked in front of the driveway, so that was also a minor.
Oh yeah, and also like taking the feedback. Some people are kind of a bit sensitive to negative feedback, and I think you should be open-minded with that regard. So Zsolt sometimes can be like straight like, no, don't make excuses, this is wrong. You have to accept it and then learn from it,
and then you need to be told how to fix those things, rather than just feeling bad because I made a mistake. If you know what you need to do, how you can improve your skills in the driving, that's not a problem, because I have a lot of guys, often I'm not the first choice because of my price, and so a lot of guys coming from others, they're saying they've been just told off constantly, they felt very bad at the end of the lesson, but they never told how to fix the issues, how to improve on those things.
Yeah, you need to get the feedback should be constructive, but even if it's a negative feedback, just accept your mistake. That's fine. It's a learning curve, so you learn from that, right? So you'll make it maybe 2 or 3 times, but then eventually you will get it right. So just
and that's why it's important. The mock test need to be written.
Yes.
So the mock test has to be on proper paper. So we do the mock test on. It used to be on the driving tests. This one. We have a lot of copy of the green paper, so that was the official driving test report. Nowadays they're doing on iPads, but exactly the same. So when we make the mock test, I make loads of notes. If there was a mistake, what was the mistake and how we can fix it, and then you take home and you had 6 paper, you put it together and you saw the progress.
Yes, indeed. For me it was a bit different because like every time I made a new mistake, so it was that's almost every time it was like something new. I was like, okay.
Which is very important and it's good. I tell you why, because often I have candidates coming again from others, they said, oh, I failed 4 times my driving test exactly for the same mistake. That means poor instruction, poor driving instructor, because they didn't fix what went wrong between the 2 tests. So here you haven't committed the same mistake because you fix it, we learn it, you made a new one, and then the next time you avoided that.
You avoid
one.
it, yes.
Yes.
For me, it was also good because when I went back home, my wife was asking me like, "Oh, what went wrong? Like, what did you fail this? Why did you fail this time?" That was like her judgment,
Again.
and I'm like, "Yeah, again." So I had to kind of go through my notes and explain her like, "Oh, I did this wrong, this
And then
wrong,
you're
this wrong."
processing here, you know.
Yeah, and I
Because
remember
when
everything.
you're driving, exactly, you might not be processing when we talk about it, but when you read at home back the mock test, then you're processing the information.
Yes.
That's very, very important. Mhm.
It was useful for her too because she also needs to get her driving license. So she's the next client for Zsolt.
Thank you very much.
So,
When the baby will be a little bit bigger,
Yes,
because she's
yes.
3 days old.
yeah. Just 3 days old.
Beautiful.
So
And you
she's,
have a 4-year-old daughter as well, so 2 daughters. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so
Big
much.
daddy.
Yes, I'm a happy man now. So
Fabulous.
sometimes people like do the theory just to pass the test. For me, it was very important. At least the speed limits and the signs are really important. So make sure that you know your theory. Just
That's a
quickly.
law for driving, basically.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
very important. We need to obey the law. We need to obey the highway code.
Yeah, keep refreshing. Like look at the signs, make sure that you know them well. What also helped me a little bit with motivation was like I was actually checking websites for cars, like what I would buy, how it would work, like where would we go. Like we were discussing with my wife and all of that. So pretty happy. Best of luck to everyone as well. Like if you're doing this, it's really a journey that you should take, and it's really
Enjoy
fun.
it. That's very important. I have a lovely lady started 2 days ago from Mexico, and she had so bad experience. She said I was hating my driving lesson. She failed very badly, and then she came to me, and she said after the second lesson, she said, "I can't believe it. I did enjoy the lesson." Because previously she even didn't want to go. Her partner said to just go because you need the license, but she didn't want to be. So very important, guys. If you don't enjoy your driving lessons, find somebody else. It's not your fault, not necessarily the fault of the driving instructor.
Yes.
If you just don't click, find somebody else who you click with, because in a good environment, you're learning. If you're stressed, if you're not enjoying, you're not learning, you're just wasting your money.
Yeah, if you're not enjoying the classes or anything that you're learning, that means it's a teacher's problem for sure. Like it's not your issue. You should try different people and kind of figure it out, like what you like, what you don't like.
It is very important. I never let the candidate to pay 10 lesson or 20 lesson in advance. I always say to my assistant, to the candidate, pay for the first lesson.
Oh yeah.
Experience in how do I teach, how do I work. Then you go home, you think of it, and then if you like, you come back. If you don't like, you don't come back. Just find somebody else who fits to your requirement. Because if you pay 10, 20 lessons in advance, you
stuck,
have to, exactly, you're stuck to it, and then you feel you're wasting your money. So if somebody asking for 10 lesson, pay in advance or 20, just say, sorry, I want to have just one lesson to
trial,
try.
yeah.
Exactly. Then you will make the firm decision. Do you like this thing or not?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, that's a good way. And I had the same experience with Zsolt. So I paid for first lesson, we drove, and it was good. And I said, okay, I'm happy with this, so let's go.
Fabulous. Anything else you would love to say, apart of have a lovely holiday, everybody, because we are in the middle of the holiday season?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, enjoy it. I mean, honestly, I think it's a great thing to have this driving license. It's a freedom, right? So it gives you opens the doors. You can buy car, you can
Job-wise
enjoy
as
it.
well, exactly.
Yes,
So you have more
yes.
opportunity.
Yes, especially if you are a family man or family woman, whatever it is, your situation. Yeah, I think it's definitely
It's
plus.
a necessity to have
yeah.
the driving license.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And enjoy your freedom. And
Yes.
you will receive the Plus Two certificate from the DVSA. When you buying your car and then you're applying for insurance, you get a cheaper insurance. So that's why do the Plus Two training after your driving
Yes,
test with the
it's worth
instructor,
it.
and then you will get a better deal. It's a good negotiating tool in your hand to have a better deal on your insurance.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Good luck, everybody.
Good
and
luck.
Have a lovely holiday. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.